Hey, Laura here with Cox Homestead. Y'all remember Harry in my last video? He was about this big. Look how much he's grown. Anyways, today I'm going to be going over some basic supply needs you need to know before bringing your rabbit to your home. We're going to talk about feeders, waterers, and a choice of food and supplements. Come learn with me. First things first, what are you going to feed your rabbits? This is a sensitive subject for some. Some think that they should be fed all fresh vegetables. Some think they should be fed only hay. Some think that they only need pellets. Here at Cox Homestead, we do a combination of all three. And so that's what I'm going to share with you on today, is how we use all three to make sure our rabbits are well fed and healthy. First, I'm going to show you the pellet we use. We use Tucker Milling Nature Crest. This is a GMO-free feed, and it is full of all the essential vitamins and nutrients that they need and probiotics. It is a 16% protein feed, and that is all I use in all stages of my rabbit's life. So babies get this, mamas get this, daddies get this. All of my rabbits get this pellet. It is very cost effective. This bag here is 50 pounds. At my local co-op, it cost me about $16. It did go up a little bit this year. My prices in the fall will reflect the spring increase of feed prices. Even our rabbits that we finish out on pasture still get access to pellets. We do not use any sort of salt or mineral blocks in the rabbit cages because all those things they need is in this pellet. Besides the pellet, we also give a handful of hay every day to each one of our rabbits. Most of the time I go for Timothy hay that has not been sprayed. Occasionally I have had to use a mixed orchard, or I've used alfalfa. The pellet we use is alfalfa based, so I like to switch it up and try and give them Timothy hay. But I suggest using what you have access to that is not sprayed, especially if you're using these as meat rabbits. You don't want to be consuming meat that's been eating sprayed hay. Something you can use to put the hay in their cage, this is called a hay basket. It hooks in the basket and you fill this up with hay. This works great if you're really wanting to do a lot of free choice hay, but hay gets messy. It gets in their poop. You have to separate it out from the poop. People do raise rabbits without hay at all. I know that one of the largest rabbitries in America does not even use hay at all. But I like to give hay. I feel like it is great for their digestive system. I feel like it's great for their teeth because it gives them more to chew. So anyways, I use hay. Not all of mine have a hay basket. I typically have a spot that I stick a handful in their cage at the same spot every day, and so that hay is falling down in the same spot every day, and I usually stick it in very strategically. I place it where they don't poop. Rabbits are creatures of habit. They will poop in the same spots in their cage most of the time, and you'll see after a time period that all their poop's going in this corner or that corner or between these two corners, and then you can place your hay in a spot where that poop isn't constantly falling to kind of keep as much of that hay out of the poop as you can. So we have pellets, we have hay, and then the third thing I do is fresh leafy greens, garden scraps. Sometimes I'll pick some grass. We are not in an area where the RHD virus is a huge problem, so I still feel safe having rabbits on pasture and picking fresh grass to give them. How that works really depends on the age of the rabbit, where they are in their growth, those type of things. But let's say for a fully grown adult, I would give a handful of fresh leafy greens or grass in a day, depending on what we have. And when I say dark leafy greens, I'm thinking things like kale, carrot tops, romaine, dark leaf lettuce, radish tops, beet tops, anything that's going to grow above ground that's easy for them to get quick access to. Rabbit are prey animals. They're not going to do anything that's going to take them a lot of time, like dig up a carrot. They're going to eat that carrot top because it's quick, fast food for a rabbit. Something else to think about when you're giving scraps to your rabbits. Rabbits are small animals. They're not a huge elephant. They can't eat all of your apple peels after making apple butter. That would just be way too much for them. So give them little bits of your fruity, sweet things, because that's like eating a piece of cake or a piece of pie for them. While they can have little bits of fruit, you don't want to go overboard with that, or things like carrots. Things that are starchy or sweet, you want to really limit with your rabbits. If you're giving things like your apple core, make sure to pick those seeds out of there. The most sensitive thing on a rabbit is their GI system. So it's very important that we talk about diet. We talk about things that are going to give them problems. You don't want to feed them too many bloating foods. So if you think cabbage, if you think broccoli, cauliflower, those things that give you a lot of gas, rabbits can't pass gas. You're not going to want to give a bunch of those to your rabbits. They're going to have some GI problems after that. Things to avoid: corn, apple core seeds, potatoes. They don't really need a bunch of potato skins. That's just not how it's going to work in nature. If you think about it, they're not going to go peel a potato and then eat the skins. So think about the things low to the ground, leafy and green, that a rabbit could easily get to in the wild, and that's going to make great treats for them. Dandelion leaves, that's another one of their favorite things. Clover. Look near the ground in the season that you're in, and more than likely you'll see something that will make a great treat for your rabbits. So let's talk about what you're going to put this feed in. If you have a doe that's going to be breeding and raising kits, you might want to consider something like this. This is a J feeder, and you can fill it up and get quite a lot of food in there. If you have a solo rabbit, you don't necessarily need a J feeder for them. They're never going to eat this much at once. These are handy if you plan to vacation and you're nervous about your help making sure all your rabbits are fed. You can fill that up just for a week, to play it safe. But otherwise, you don't want to overfeed your rabbits, or they will get overweight. So that's a little bit of a problem with these. Sometimes people get one of these and they fill it up, and next thing they know, they're messaging me saying my rabbits won't breed, and I'll say, well, are they overweight? Have you fed them too much? What's their diet look like? And oftentimes they're given unlimited pellets, and that leads to an overweight rabbit. What I like about these feeders is it attaches to the cage from the outside, so I do not have to reach in to pour the feed. And it has this mesh liner on the bottom where the dust will fall through from the pellets. I also like that this feeder has a lip here. Every once in a while you'll get a rabbit that wants to dig in the feed. That lip helps prevent some of that feed from coming out when they dig in it. Let me show you another J feeder that doesn't have that lip, and you'll see what I mean. This is another J feeder. It's a little bit smaller, but it doesn't have the lip. So the problem with this feeder is my rabbit would dig the feed out and it would go all over the ground. So I don't use this feeder anymore because of that. It does have the clips where you can hook it on the outside and you can fill it up, but if you have a rabbit that likes to dig, I don't recommend this style because it doesn't have that lip to stop the feed. You can also use cups in your rabbit feeder to just put your food in, especially if it's a solo rabbit and they're not going to need as much food. They make cups even smaller than this to put feed in. This hooks into the cage so they can't pull it off. I keep these on hand for temporary cages, for solo rabbits, things like that, for cold weather if I don't have a heated water over there. These can be used for feed or water, both. Just a great little staple to have on hand to grab in a pinch. You can also set hay in there. You could set leafy greens in there. Anything really. These are very versatile rabbit tool. Now, once it's empty, they often do unclip them from the cage and play with them like a toy. So you can see this one is chewed on quite a bit, but it's pretty hardy and it's held up decently well. All right, so I mentioned you could put water in those bowls. Some people prefer to use bowls for watering. They feel like it's a more natural way for the rabbit to drink, and I get that, and that's totally fine. That's your choice. If you want to do that, you can. Looking for a crock that's a little bit heavier might be a great option, or something that will attach to the side of the cage because they will have a tendency to dump it and play in it. What I like to use are water bottles with nipples, and I especially like water bottles with nipples that I can get my hands in, get in there and give it a good clean, and I can fill it from the top, from the outside. So I don't have to take this off and unscrew anything. All I have to do is undo the cap, pour my water in, and my rabbit's water is good to go for the day. This attaches to the cage with a spring and clip. It goes around the sides and makes a nice secure hold for your water bottle. I also like how easy it is to adjust the height on this, so when you have little kits you can put it lower, and as those kits age you can raise it up. You can find this as well as my favorite J feeder in my Amazon shop. I really like how much water this water bottle holds. This holds 2 liters of water. That's enough to keep a mom and her litter of 8 hydrated for 24 hours. This is a water bottle I picked up at a local pet store, and I like it pretty well. And here's why. I fill it from the top, from the outside, so I'm not having to unscrew the lid and fill through a little bitty hole. And this does attach from the outside, like I said, and this top part also comes off to get my hand in there and give it a good clean. Look for ones you can fill from the top. Look for ones that you can get your hand in there and clean really good. Both of those things are very important to me when selecting a water bottle for my rabbit. Let's talk the cream of the crop heated waterer that you're gonna wanna get. Save your pennies. I absolutely love having these. We've raised rabbit for a few years now, and I've never had heated waterers until this year. I used some of my profits from the rabbitry to invest back into it and to buy these, and I have absolutely been so thankful I did that. They have short cords, but we were able to just use the extension cords everywhere, plug these bad boys in, and I did not have to stress. If you don't have the luxury of a heated water bottle, you can train your rabbits to drink when you come out with fresh water twice a day. They're gonna learn that they need to drink then, or they won't have water for the rest of the day if it's freezing temperatures. And then you'll come out again in the evening, same thing. They are trainable to do that. I just really love the comfort of knowing my rabbit has fresh water all day. Thank you. With these heated waterers. All right, that wraps up my basic feed water supplies for your rabbit. I hope you found that helpful. If you did, would you hit the like and subscribe button? Let me know in the comments what else you would like me to cover about raising rabbits, and I will get to work on some more content. In the meantime, happy homesteading, eat more rabbit, check out my Etsy shop, get you a shirt. Let's make rabbit meat normal. Here comes my dog. Hey, Biscuit, you want to say hi?
Oh, goodness. Let's say hi.
Let's say hi. Oh, that's Biscuit. That's my sweet Biscuit. He's getting so big. That's a good boy, Biscuit. Oh, you smell like a dog now. No longer like a puppy. It goes around the slide. That's a cute little Harry. Aren't we sweet together?